If you are tired of missing out on big moves or getting caught in fake outs, then this video is just for you. Welcome back to my channel where I help you master the forex markets using smart money concepts. In this video, I am going to review 5 SMC entry rules that you can use to consistently bank profit. I will also show you live trades that I took with my community using this same concept. So if you are not part of my Telegram community, use the link in the description to join my community where I share free winning signals. Guys, if you really want to master high probability trade entries and avoid market manipulation, then make sure to watch till the end. Before we proceed, don't forget to subscribe, like and hit the notification bell so you never miss any of my trading tips and strategies. Moving on, right here on the chart, a lot of traders come to their chart to look out for entry opportunities without considering major factors that could influence their profitability, their win rate. So in this video, like I stated earlier, I'll be showing you 5 SMC entry rules or techniques that you need to follow to help you get high probability trade entries and win more trades. So first up, you need to understand market trend at the back of your hand, because market structure is the foundation of smart money. It tells you whether the market is trending or ranging. So when you learn to read market structures correctly, you will know when to enter and exit your trades. So guys, to get the most out of this teaching, you need to watch this video to the end. I will show you how I also took live trades, my mentees, my community. So let's proceed. Moving on, what is the current trend? As you can clearly see, the market is bearish right in that progression. Let me zoom this in a little so that you can see a bit. All right, so if you look closely here, you can clearly see that the market has been in a bearish trend that way. You can also see that the market is creating a bullish sentiment right here, higher highs, higher lows, indicating a pullback within a major downward trend. Having identified this corrective move, you need to understand to what extent this correction would be. After you identify your trend, the second is to always confirm your entries by analyzing multiple time frames, which is your higher time frame. Start by identifying the overall trend on the higher time frame, like the 4-hour daily chart. So once you get your details on the higher time frame, and you scale down to a lower time frame, like the 15 minutes or 5 minutes, based on your trading style, to fine-tune your structures and entry. So moving on, let's go back to the 4-hour time frame. So right here on the 4 hours, you can clearly see that we are in a strong bearish trend. Price is making lower highs and lower lows in that progression. So with that being said, we are going to also analyze our 4-hour structures to be able to make better trading decisions and know how to approach our lower time frame with respect to the higher time frame. So with that being said, first things first, we need to identify our inducement zone, which is our first liquidity zone. So your inducement is your first high or recent pullback in a bearish trend. So at this point, this is our recent high, okay, which is our valid inducement zone and our first liquidity point. So having identified our inducement zone, all right, next is to identify our valid POI, where we are expecting price to react from. So we have a valid order flow right here. And for refinement purpose, we can also see the valid order block with clear imbalance. But the unmitigated order flow here is our first point of interest with clear imbalance. Alright. With this information, this clearly shows that the bullish sentiment we identified in the lower time frame, which is our 15 minutes, is just an accumulation of liquidity to fuel the next impulse move. So price may react from here or price may react from here. You just need to look out for price behaviors before making your trade decision. With this information, we can now scale down to our 15 minutes, which is our lower time frame, to fine-tune our structures and entries. So here on the 15-minute time frame, we head straight to analyze our 15-minute structure. So as you can see, price is making right here. You can clearly see that price is making higher highs and higher lows. But we need to critically analyze our structures to ensure that this is not just a bullish sentiment, but we have a confirmation in the form of a king of cards indicating strong bullish pressure. Okay, let me make this more realistic. Let me take this out, okay, so that I can see how to effectively apply these techniques and entries in your trading approach. All right. So moving on here, first things we need to analyze our structures, like I said previously, to identify how we can get involved in this trade. Having mapped out our 4-hour structures, we now have an insight of what the higher time frame structure and trend is and our expectation as well. So let's proceed to analyze our lower time frame structure. So you can see this is the lowest point here, and this is our recent pullback in the bearish swing. Okay, so as you can see, these are recent pullback. After identifying your inducement has been taken out, and this becomes our BOS zone right here. All right, so you can see that BOS zone is still protected. So what happened after price took our inducement? Actually, we are expecting after inducement take our price needs to push lower and break our structure low, but that didn't happen. All right, rather price pushed higher and closed above this zone, indicating an internal change of character right here. So I would identify it as my eye chalk. So having identified the eye chalk, this indicates bullish sentiment. So with this information, it means that we are not going to be trading in the direction of the 4-hour bearish trend. Rather, we'll focus on the 15 minutes current trend, which is bullish, while having in mind of our overall trend that the overall trend is bearish, so that we can always be flexible and adjust ourselves to the shifts in market momentum at any point. Okay, so as mentioned earlier, the first entry technique or rule is to understand the trend and market structure, and then the second is to always confirm your entries by analyzing your multiple time frames. You need to analyze your higher time frame and your lower time frame structures, which we have done. So the third technique is to identify valid POIs to enable you get high probability entry opportunity. Now, identifying valid POIs, this is where a lot of traders make mistakes. Reason is because you can see POIs everywhere on the chart. But how do you identify correct POIs that align with your current trend? Remember I said we are not trading in the direction of the 4-hour trend because our 15-minute trend is currently bullish. So on that note, we ought to look out for bullish POIs on the lower time frame, which is our 15 minutes in this case. So how do you identify a POI? In this case, first you need to focus on the POIs that align with our lower time frame, just like I stated earlier. The POI should have clear imbalance. The POI should have inducement or liquidity. So moving on here, we can clearly see that we have a valid POI right here, which is our order block. All right, and then moving on, we can also spot a valid demand zone right here. So the next entry technique is to validate your POI with valid inducement zones and liquidity zones before your POI zone. So having identified our bullish POIs, how do we validate the POIs? To validate your POIs, you need inducement and liquidity zones before your POI zone. All right, because these are exact zones where smart money love to make their moves, and if you can spot these areas, you can avoid being stopped out and instead enter your trades alongside the big players in the market. If you do not identify any valid inducement or liquidity before your POI, then that POI is likely to fail. It's likely also an engineered liquidity zone. All right, so guys, I want to ask you, okay, are these POIs valid? Okay, let's find out. As you can see on the chart, all right, we have valid inducement right here before the POI, and then moving on again, we can also clearly see another liquidity pool right here. So on that note, guys, we have valid POIs. Now, identifying valid POIs is not enough for you to get high probability entry. Marking your structures, identifying the trend and all that is not enough. You know, the market is dynamic and you need more confluences to validate your entries and your signals. All right, so in this case, having identified valid POIs, how do we approach the trade around our POI zones to get high probability entries? Now in this case, this is where you need your POI confirmation. At this point, this brings us to the fifth entry techniques or entry rules, which is price confirmation at our POI zone. Closely here, you can see that at our decisional POI, there was no bullish candle confirmation. Rather, we saw a momentum bearish candle break through the order block right here. So at this point, we do not have any entry confirmation right here. We will ignore this POI. It has been devalidated. So I'll take it out. So here at our demand zone, as you can see, price did mitigate the demand zone and gave a reaction, then push lower, creating a new lower low, indicating bearish sentiment. However, this bearish sentiment does not indicate a change of character for the market to start selling. Okay, the reason is because, as you can see here, we have price. Let me move this a little. Okay, so as you can see, we have price sweep this low. After price took an inducement, all right, and gave a reaction, If price had closed below this zone, this would have been an internal bearish shock indicating bearish sentiment to continue selling to break our structural low. And this potential selling opportunity would have aligned with our higher time frame buyers. Instead, price swept our internal shock zone. Alright. So this sweep indicates that the bulls are still in control and price just pushed lower to grab more liquidity. In this case, we do not just start buying, we need a confirmation entry. So as you can see, price closed above this high after the sweep, indicating bullish sentiment, which gives us an internal bullish shock. This is an advanced concept which I also teach. So as you can see, we have a lower low formation here, okay? But as price closed above the internal shock here, we have a higher high formation. So since the internal shock right here has confirmed the bullish sentiment, we go ahead to look out for our valid POIs for our entries in the direction of our lower time frame current trend. Alright, so guys, remember our 5 entry techniques. Our structures are still intact, so we go ahead now to look out for high probability POIs with valid inducement and liquidity. So moving on, in this leg, right, continue our bullish move. We can see minor bullish sentiment right here before we have a confirmation right here. Okay, so where is our inducement and POI? In this case, we have a valid inducement zone right here, and also we can spot a nice liquidity build up right here. Okay, so where is our POI? Guys, if you look closely, you can see that there is no unmitigated POI in this leg, in this move. All right, everything here has been mitigated except for our extreme demand zone right here. So at this point, this is the only POI that we are looking at to buy. We are going to look out for price behavior at an inducement zone or any other price behavior that can signal a bullish sentiment right here. At this juncture, I'm going to play price forward and let's see how I was able to get an entry opportunity on this setup, which I called in my live session with my mentees, and we all backed some profit. So guys, as you can see, inducement has been taken out here. Alright, inducement has been taken out, and then liquidity as well has been taken out right here. So guys, did you observe something? If you look closely, you would see that the move to sweep liquidity from these liquidity pools have strong momentum bearish candles. This is to let you know that not all bearish momentum candles signifies selling pressure. Sometimes this indicates the moves of the market makers where they pump price to take out liquidity. Okay, so looking at these momentum candlesticks, you can see that after inducement and liquidity was taken out, you see the momentum candle that smashed this zone. This is an actual sell momentum in the market. What prevents the next candle from closing below this zone and even below this zone? So you can see that this is just a pump in price by market makers to sweep the liquidities around this zone. Having identified this signal, I was able to call this trade during one of my live sessions with my mentees, and we bagged some profit. So remember I said, once you identify your inducement and liquidity pools, then you identify your valid POIs. But based on this behavior right here, this signals that there's a probability that price will not mitigate this zone. How am I able to spot that? If you look closely, you can identify a valid single candle order block. This is an advanced concept, guys. You can see that we have a valid single candle order block, indicating that price may likely not mitigate this zone. So based on my experience, I decided to give it a shot. Alright, because I've seen this play out several times on the chart. So right here we have a valid single candle order block seated here, okay, with a valid confirmation indicating that the buyers are stepping in. Having already gotten this confirmation here and the current trend is bullish, okay, having this confirmation, guys, I had to pull my trigger. On that note, I employed my long position and actually I executed my orders as at then in real time. So where is my target? Okay, because I am trading my 15-minute structure, okay, this is going to be my major target right here. I will not be targeting this high, guys. All right, we take it a step at a time because I'm a day trader. If I were a swing trader, maybe I would consider the approach to getting on this trade and hold it up until this point. But since I'm day trading, I'll be exiting my trade around this recent high right here. Okay, so having identified the SCOB, I will wait for price to trigger my position right here and then see how the trade plays out. Okay, so let me play price forward and see what we've got. Alright guys, as you can see, we bagged our profit target right here. And here on my screen, you can see that I actually called this trade during the live session. I'm observing my chart here. Okay, so this is one of our live trades that we're going to be looking at. If you're on your chart and you have your account funded. So guys, based on my analysis, there's a buying opportunity here on EU. I will explain the entry later. So our SL is going to be just below this low. And our target. Now, this is a live trade I'm calling though, for those who are interested. Okay, so this is our first target. Then the next target is going to be this high based on my structure mapping. So this 1:3.
Are you on the trade now?
Okay, so I just entered. I was somehow observing that. So that's the stop loss, but I want to drop it on Telegram. So how many persons are on the trade?
I'm on the trade. I'm on the trade.
So moving on, after inducement taken out, we now have our valid break of structure right here. Okay, so having identified a valid BOS, it indicates that this market still wants to keep pushing higher. All right, we have a close above the BOS zone indicating that there is still strong buying pressure in the market. So on that note, how do we get our entry? Remember, our rules are still intact, our structures are still mapped, so we look out for high probability entry opportunities. And then all protocols duly observed with respect to the previous techniques. The next technique that we need to look out for is to identify valid POIs with valid inducements and wait for confirmation of our POI zones. Okay, so moving on, after our BOS, where is our inducement? Where is our POI? So guys, I ask you, can you identify the valid inducements on the chart and valid POIs? I'll give you 2 seconds. Alright guys, if you are unable to spot a valid POI or valid inducement on the chart, then you need to go watch my video on inducements and POIs to ensure that you get sound knowledge of this concept, as they will help you to make better trade decisions and market structures correctly. Okay, so moving on, we have a valid inducement right here. Alright, so where is our valid POI? We have an additional POI around here. And then moving on, let me take this out. We have an extreme POI. So let's play price forward and see what we've got here. Alright guys, as you can see, price did react as a decisional POI, and decisional POI failed to hold the price. Okay, and then what happened? This devalidates this zone. Remember, decisional POIs always have 50% probability, as market makers also use them as liquidity zones. Okay, so moving on here, this POI failed. All right, and then we have our extreme POI right here. So as you can see, after inducement was taken out, okay, price pushed lower to mitigate this zone right here, and then price did not even close below. We have a sweep, right? Price cracked it. Remember, like I said in the previous scenario, most times market makers use momentum candles to scare traders out of the market or to induce traders in the market. As you can see, a lot of sellers will be induced in this trade. Okay, so this will tell you that this is not the actual sell move, all right, by sell participants in the market. Rather, this is a pump in price by market makers. How am I able to identify that? Okay, you can clearly see after this strong momentum candle, what prevents the next candle from even pushing slightly lower below this candle? So this is an indication that this is not the actual move by sell participants in the market. If this is an actual move by sell participants in the market, that means they have enough momentum to keep pushing the price lower. But this is actually a pump in price by market makers to sweep liquidity off these liquidity zones right here. Okay, so guys, this is how you can also read candlesticks effectively to make better trade decisions. So at this point, having identified this, okay, we can now buy directly from here, because this is our extreme POI. An extreme POI have high probability entry opportunities. Okay, so with this information, and like I said previously, based on my experience, I know that this price was just a liquidity move by market makers. Okay, so you can get involved in this trade right here after the next bullish candle. Okay, after the next bullish candle, this is an insider, but it's an advanced thing. All right, so having identified this is going to be our stop loss just beyond the liquidity candle. Okay, and then our target is going to be the next recent high, which is our BOS. So once inducement has been taken out, you mark out your high or low as your BOS zone. Okay, so that you can observe price behaviors around this zone. So these are BOS, which is my target, because the market is bullish, and in a bullish trend, price makes new highs. So guys, before we play price forward, you see that if you had identified POIs before your inducement zone, you are likely going to fall for these traps and manipulations. As you can clearly see, you see that there are buying opportunities just before the inducement zone, inducing traders to go long around this zone. But you need to be patient to wait for inducement to be taken out and get a valid confirmation at your POI zones before taking any trade decision. So let's play price forward and see how this plays out. Alright guys, as you can see, we hit our profit target here. Okay, price did hit our target but failed to close above. Okay, remember our higher time frame, which is our 4 hours trend, is still intact. Okay, structures are still intact. All right, but remember, you need to observe price behavior because the market could reverse at any given point in time. Okay, so moving on here, having identified our BOS, we're expecting price to push higher, indicating that the bulls are still in control. But what happened? You can clearly see that price created another price behavior contrary to the bullish trend. Okay, you see that we have a sweep of the BOS zone. Based on the sweep of this major high right here, this indicates a deeper pullback and not a continuation as in the previous scenario that we have looked at. This is where the dynamic nature of the Forex market comes into play. Based on this behavior, it indicates that price may likely not react from this inducement zone or from any POI right here. So some traders would mark here as their inducement, right, and probably identify this as an unmitigated POI right here, or even this zone as an unmitigated POI for price to react and then buy from, just like we saw in the previous scenarios. But guys, for me as a professional trader and with my years of trading experience, while others were looking out for buying opportunity in this trade setup, I was looking at and positioning myself for a selling opportunity due to the market behavior and due to my experience with this price movement. So if we look at this critically, you can see that we have our valid liquidity zone right here, alright, which price is already nicely reacting from. And that is the essence of these liquidity zones, liquidity pools. They always look so real, okay? They always look so real. So you need to be able to train your eyes to know how to identify them on the chart. Now moving on, having identified this inducement, where is our POI? Guys, due to the sweep here, this indicates a deeper pullback. So our major liquidity zone is going to be this low right here, okay? This is an advanced thing, all right? This is going to be our liquidity zone right here, okay? So we're expecting price to push lower. Right now, I'm no longer interested in the buying opportunity. I'm looking at any sell confirmation. Now, with this information, I do not just start selling, okay? There are still more price behaviors I need to look out for to give me my entry confirmation. Having identified these ones, like I thought in the previous scenario, we needed to look for a buying opportunity. But based on this price behavior here, okay, I had to change my bias based on my experience, like I said previously. So the Forex market is dynamic and has a lot of uncertainties which you need to prepare yourself and be flexible to adjust in real time. So moving on, I'll go ahead and play price forward to see how I got involved in this trade with my community. So guys, if you're not in my Telegram community yet, you're obviously missing a lot. Use the link in the description to access my Telegram community where I share free winning signals for every member. If you want to get connected to wealth and attain financial freedom, that is where you should be. Let's proceed to play price forward. So as you can see, price took out inducement from here. This is our inducement, just like in the previous scenario. Okay, so this is our inducement. After price taking our inducement, we're expecting price to push higher. Or after inducement taking out, we're expecting price to push higher to break our structure high. But what happened? Price pushed lower, creating an internal bearish shock right here. Okay, I call it I shock. All right. So having identified this, remember I always emphasize on inducement and liquidity. Okay, so having identified this internal shock, remember after break of any key level, you identify your first liquidity point, which is your inducement. So in this case, after the shock, this is our inducement to go short right here. Okay, with this internal shock right here, this has confirmed the signal that we got from here that there is strong selling pressure in the market. Okay, so we can now go ahead and position ourselves for a selling opportunity. So this is our inducement. Where is our POY? Right. So when you identify any POY right here, you can see that we have POY and unmitigated order flow right here. We also have our order block with clear imbalance right here. So this is our extreme. So having identified this POY, let's see how I got an entry opportunity shared with my community. So guys, as you can see, price swept this high, right? Signaling that price may likely not push higher to mitigate the extreme POY. And then there is also a confirmation right here, the engulfing candle, right, also confirmed the sweep, signaling that there is sell momentum in the market. Okay, so I dropped this signal after the bullish candle, as you can see on my screen, while this candle was in print. Okay, so our stop loss was just above the sweep candle right here, somewhere around here. So our profit target was around this low right here, somewhere around here. So that was over 1:5 risk reward, which was fair enough. So if we look at it, that was about 1:7 risk reward. So I traded alongside with the market makers, and my community joined me as well. So as you can see on your screen, I took this trade while recording this video. So let's play price forward and see what we've got. Okay, right. Okay guys, so this is the current price. Our replay has ended and we smashed our profit target right here, as you can see. So like I said, if you are not in the Telegram community, guys, you are missing a lot. Okay, sure that you are part of this community and get connected to wealth. So right here, as you can see, guys, the price is almost sweeping this zone, just like we've highlighted. Okay, so once there's a sweep, I'll see bullish confirmation, and then we can still go long. Okay, but if price closes below this zone and gives us another confirmation, then we can sell back to this zone, which means that price may likely not push higher to mitigate our 4 hours inducement, because a lot of inducement and liquidity has been created within this corrective move, right, and pullback move. So price may likely not mitigate this zone. So once we identify any confirmation in the direction of the higher time frame trend, is likely a high probability. Guys, the forex market is deep. If you want to get more insight about forex trading strategies, forex trading concepts, forex market behaviors, and how to approach them effectively, make profitable trading decisions, then click on the link in the description to join my mentorship program, where I hold you by the hand and guide you through the art of profitable forex trading. So guys, that's a wrap on this video. You can see these are the 5 entry techniques to back profits in the financial market. You can also see clearly the beauty of SMC trading approach, how it defines every move of the market and help us to be flexible and aligned to the changing market conditions. Thank you for watching to the end. If you found value in this video, make sure to hit that like button. It inspires me to create more videos like this. And don't forget to subscribe if you haven't already, so you can continue to enhance your trading skills with more advanced SMC strategies that I will be updating. Guys, what content would you like to see next? Drop a comment below. I love hearing from you. Until next time, keep trading smart, and I'll see you in the next video.